during this time of coronavirus or COVID-19 pandemic, the community shops, especially the halal butchers, are making money. They're making money in the expenses of human lives, human sufferings, and at the cost of religious beliefs of the ordinary Muslims. What a shame. What a shame. We are seeing a price hike of the halal meat 2 times and often 3 times than the ordinary price, when there is no justification for that. Flights to the UK are not banned. We see transports and moving goods from one part to the other part of the UK. And we are also seeing that the superstores are, in fact, at times lowering the prices. Just the other day, I bought a bag of rice. Well, I'm a rice eater, a man from Bangladesh. So I have seen that Tesco has rather given a discounted price for the rice bag. But Muslims are suffering. 1/4 of the coronavirus affected people are Muslims. 1/4 of the dead are Muslims. When Muslims form roughly about 5 to 6% of the British population. Now, why are they price hiking? Because this is in the culture. During the month of Ramadan, the prices go up in Bangladesh and in most part of the Muslim world. Why? Because they have no teaching of Islam in their hearts. They have come miles, thousands of miles from home, but the culture still carries on in their hearts. There needs to be a change in the understanding of religious beliefs in the truest sense. The core purpose of any religion is and should be to love humanity. Now, why are we seeing that Muslims are suffering at the hands of Muslims? Let's go back in history. Prophet Muhammad was offered by Khadija, his first wife, for marriage because she was charmed by his honesty. It is sunnah in Islam to be a businessman, to engage in business. It's called sunnah, or the way of the Prophet, because the Prophet himself was engaged in business. So he was an honest tradesman. That's what charmed Khadija, his first wife, first of all, to him. Now, one of the greatest jurists of Islamic history, Abu Hanifa, he was a tradesman. He was a man who was into textile business, and he was well renowned as an honest tradesman. Religion was spread by many with sword or by the rulers. But what about tradesmen? If you read the history of the very first Muslim in Malaysia, or if you Google Islam in Malaysia, you will see that the Hindu king there, Fa Warang Mawashing, I'm sorry, if I beg your pardon if I couldn't have pronounced the name. But anyway, he was a Hindu king, and he converted to Islam and took the name Muzaffar Shah because he was charmed by the honesty of the tradesmen who were coming from Arab to his country. Then Charaman, the very first mosque in India, the king of Charaman, he had converted to Islam. So Muslim traders, Muslim preachers were converting kings to Islam. Even the grandchildren of Genghis Khan had converted to Islam as they were charmed by the Muslim preachers. Muslim tradesmen were preaching Islam from one corner of Africa to the other corner of Africa. If you read the history of Islam in Somalia, Western Sahara, you will see that Islam was preached by tradesmen there. Abu Abdullah ibn Yasin, he had converted thousands of Africans to Islam. Many indigenous people converted to Islam during the time of Umar II because they were charmed by his honesty, by his just rule. Now, what has happened to Muslims of today? They are not following the teachings of Islam, and they are reaping from the sufferings of Muslims. Shame on them. I'm calling for hefty fines against these evil tradesmen who are shaming general Muslims and who are making money at the expense of our sufferings.